A Very MBA Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, both silent and clear, in a house full of transcripts and empty of cheer. 'Twas no food in the fridge save a bottle of Jack and a half-eaten shroom burger from the Shake Shack. John hung up his Armani, Jane her DKNY. They collapsed into bed with two miserable sighs. Like their GMAT review books, all beaten and worn, both John and Jane wished they had never been born. And they both thought of nothing but getting their letter from Kellogg or Booth, or perhaps someplace better. Still backed up with work, they had little to say. Warm under the sheets, they soon drifted away. An hour later, John sat up groaning, quite numb. Did I leave those break-evens at the office half done? And Jane tossed and turned, her locks worn and frayed. Was my primary recommendation waylaid? They both stood up yawning and went to their MacBooks. We're both being silly. Let's just have a quick look. Paranoia assuaged, they both shook their heads. But moments before they got back into bed, buzz buzz went their iPads and laptops and phones, a blizzard of emails, the senders unknown. John and Jane sat straight up as they nervously chattered and rushed to their phones to see what was the matter. It was Olin and Tuck and Ross, and what's more, son, the both of them had been admitted to Wharton. They pranced and they shrieked, they could hardly believe it. The yeses were coming before they could read them. A knock at the door? Who is that at this hour? 'Twas D. Leopold holding a bouquet of flowers. John and Jane, I bought this for you at the bodega. To your applications, I'm quite proud to say, yeah. Dee went down on one knee to expound on her love, but then crickety-crack came a noise from above. Like a flash, Derek Bolton shot right down the chimney. He shook off the coal dust and smiled quite winningly. I know it's a breach of our protocol still. I had to tell both of you how Stanford feels. Dee growled, Derek, back off, they're HBS admits. Derek smiled too sweetly. You think I give a shit? Wharton sent a new email. To prove we're not kidding, we're offering total tuition remission. John and Jane, quite ashamed, begged the deans to stop fighting, till another surprise came at them quick as lightning. A most irksome clanging. Oh, what could it be? 'Twas John's old alarm clock, more's the pity. For as cruel as it sounds, yes, as cruel as it seems, John and Jane realized they were having a dream. They tried to resist, they tried to remain, but they failed and awoke with both back and heart pain. For the rest of the morning, they moved just like zombies. Tragic indeed are the dreams of what might have been. John and Jane, don't you worry. I happen to know there's a little surprise for you waiting below. As they scanned their inbox, it cheered them to learn that year's Goldman bonus had just been determined. John and Jane smiled. There was no need to fight. B-school or no, they were doing all right. And they both shook their heads as they said to each other, man, we cannot wait for this shit to be over. Merry Christmas, everybody.